What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Tom Trips Out, and in this episode I'm going to tell you everything about getting your TEFL and becoming a teacher. My name's Tom, this is my trip out.
Well, hey everybody, come along with me. Take a trip to a place to fight without see. Meet people, live booze, see the joy they bring, and how much it costs to try new things. Well, come and watch me on my trip out. My name's Tom, this is my trip out.
So I'm on a side road here just beside the biggest market in Kampot, and it's really busy and chaotic in there, so we're gonna wind our way through and see what they've got, and along the way I'll explain to you the whole process on getting your TEFL certificate and the daily life of a teacher over here. Let's get going. So these are very small eggs. So first things first, what's required to be a teacher? Let's talk about that. So in many countries like Vietnam and Thailand, Korea, China, if you want to teach, you have to have a degree. But there's some countries, and Cambodia is one of them, where you do not need a degree to be a teacher here. The only thing you need is a TEFL certificate. And that's really what this video is about. It's very important that you choose your TEFL course wisely. If you're leaving everything behind in your home country and choosing to start a new life somewhere, you don't want to go search up the first $2 baloney one online that check a few boxes and it prints something out that's illegitimate. It's better if you actually do things right and go with a government-accredited program like AVSC. So for Cambodia, the best candidates for teachers is being a native English speaker. So if you're from the UK or Canada or America, that's basically all you need, with a positive attitude and a passion for educating others. And then you've got to get the TEFL certificate just to prove that you're qualified and know how to manage a classroom and plan a proper lesson and make sure you're covering all the learning styles and teaching styles. And they still will hire teachers that are non-native English speakers. It's just there's a good chance that you'll be offered a slightly lower salary, and they'll know, they go by your passport basically. And this happens sometimes to people from South Africa. Even though they speak English their whole life, they can be treated as though they're from a non-native English speaking country because there's so many languages there. These are like snails from the river, coated in chili, salt, and seasonings. So the next bit I want to talk about is basically why choose AVSC, and let's get into that right now. So now we've gone inside the market. It's a big mixture of different smells and clothing next to a hair salon, next to the butcher. So first of all, AVSC is the most accredited and the most trusted program out there with the longest reputation. And they have to hold up a really high standard in order to keep that government accreditation, because every once in a while they'll get audited. And that's why they have such strong partnerships with a lot of the international schools and schools around Phnom Penh that they would call, like their partner schools. They teach you so many useful games too that you can use in the classroom, like learning exercises and different activities and games you can do with props. And I remember all throughout my teaching career I would go back and use these activities that I learned. Another thing I've noticed when dealing with my friends that are teachers, and they start asking my help to make a lesson plan, or they're showing me the lesson plans they've got, and you can just tell that they were never shown properly how to make a really strong lesson plan. And a lot of my colleagues and like fellow teachers would use mine as a template, and it's the ones that I've learned from AVSC. They really make the whole process really fun too. During the class there's a lot of role playing, or you pretend the rest of your students and one of you is the teacher, and you can try out some of these games. On the weekends you have a whole group, now that you're friends, you go out and do things together and you have your first experiences, and it's kind of good too compared to doing it alone at home or in another class, because you've made these new friends and you're doing your homework together and you can put your heads together and practice things. And that's what I really loved about the in-person course, is you get a lot more out of it than just a certificate. The other amazing thing about it is you're just totally immersed from day one. You're here, you're in the culture, you're learning about learning styles and teaching styles, in regards to a Cambodian classroom and not, a classroom in the West. The culture and what the parents expect is different here than it would be in like North America. The AVSC course in Phnom Penh, it actually takes place inside of a real international school. They've rented out a floor with a few of the rooms, and they use that as their building where they conduct the course and the training. And what's great about that is every day while you're learning to be a teacher, you're already getting exposed to that environment, and you're in the school every day and you're seeing students, and you could probably just go down the hall and observe, and it's happening right in the same building that you're in. The other big advantage to doing it with AVSC is they include a really hands-on, practical portion of the course, and it's usually the final 2 weeks of it. The first half you learn all the TEFL material and complete a lot of the modules and show that you've learned everything and you know how to make a lesson plan. And then when you get near the end, you apply what you've learned, and there's like a practical portion. And that's where they send you out to all different schools that they're partnered with, and you'll see different age levels and types of schools. And you sit at the back of the room and you observe the teacher, and you make notes about what you're noticing and based on what you've learned and stuff. And then you do that for several different types of schools and classrooms a few times. Then you go back to these places and the real teacher will give you some material ahead of time. Then you're expected to make your own lesson plan, and you go back and you take over their class for an hour, and the teacher sits at the back and watches you. And that's really good experience, and you do that about 6 or 7 times, and again you're getting to try it out on a grade 1 or maybe a grade 5 and then maybe adults. And so when you've finished all that, you actually have real experience. So when you're in your interview for your very first teaching job ever, even though you've never had a teaching job, you do have classroom experience, and they might ask you something like, what would you do if you had a student that was getting out of hand and misbehaving? How would you manage the classroom? You'll actually have real experience you can draw from, right? You could say, well, actually, I was just over at that international school last Wednesday doing a teacher demo practice, and I had a student that was acting out, and here's how I dealt with it. And so you'll be able to answer interview questions based on like real experience. A lot of people wonder, is it hard? How easy is it? Sometimes people are worried that they're not known to be the most intellectual person or academic person, and the answer is no, it's not that hard. Like, I'm not a Mr. Genius or anything, and I was able to complete it. But on the same token, it's not like a easy, just check the boxes and you're done. It's like actually a lot of work. It's a lot condensed into a small amount of time. And so during those 4 weeks, it has to be, that's the only thing you're doing, or it's like a full-time thing. You can't just party all the time and think that the school will be on the side. Like when you're doing this course, it's really condensed and full-time. And so that can make it feel hard, like you've got deadlines and a lot of work, and you're like, oh, I constantly have something I have to finish and do. But if you really zoom out and look at it, it's just a 4-week thing, and it's done. So you kind of just have to buckle down for those 4 weeks and just grind it out and finish it. Because it's not rocket science. It's like speaking English and dealing with trying to manage their behaviors and stuff like that. Time management, that's another thing. Like you have this whole lesson plan, and if you waste too much time in one section, then there's no time left for something else. You have sort of to fit everything in perfectly and manage your time properly. That's another big thing. Another thing a lot of people always ask and a lot of people want to know is how long till you get a job from after you complete the course. How long does it take till they can find you a job? They basically line you up with several job interviews, so you can go and interview for a few different spots, and then you hear back and you make a decision from there. And normally these are schools that are in need and they need you, and so most of the time you always get the job. And, in my case, it was just like a couple days after finishing the program, And I just started getting emails, and what I didn't realize is AVSC was sending out my CV to all the schools on my behalf, like behind my back. I start getting replies, oh, we would love to meet with you, and they're setting up and arranging a time for an interview. And I went to 3 different interviews, and one of them was for kindergarten, and I thought it went really well. I had a demo lesson, and I even brought a guitar and did a sing-along in my demo, and the kids loved it. They said, we don't know why they called you in, because we're only looking for a female for this position, because it was kindergarten. But they let me interview anyway, I guess because I came all the way down there. So I didn't get that one, and then the other 2 interviews, both of them wanted me, and I just chose the one that had a higher salary. So yeah, the answer is you'll basically have interviews on the final week that you're coming out of the course, and maybe 7 to 10 days later you'll be working. So it's usually less than 2 weeks later you're already working at a school. So we've worked our way down to the riverside. It's kind of a cloudy day, but you can see the mountain there through the mist. You know, you're wondering, what can I even expect to make after doing all that and spending all the money on this course? What does the average teacher make when they first come out and start working? So salary, I have to make some generalizations because it can change depending on what type of school you're at and what city you're in Cambodia, and if you've got a degree or not, and if you're a native speaker. So I'm just going to go off, the general most common numbers and average that people usually get. But again, there's people who make much more than that sometimes or less, so don't think of it like it's set in stone, these numbers. But you can expect, if you're a native English speaker, your first teaching job, you can expect something like $1,200 US a month. But again, it could be anywhere from like $1,000 to $1,400. That's what I got offered $1,250 at my first salary, and then I got a raise to like $1,320. And if you don't know the cost of living, you might think, ew, $1,200, that's not really enough. That's not a lot of money. But the cost of living here is so cheap. And right now I'm in Kampot. It's even cheaper out here. It's like the countryside little river town. And I'm able to, my whole monthly budget on anything and everything, you put it all together, what I spend on my rent and food and everything, would be only like $600 or $700 a month. And then in Phnom Penh, maybe add 200 more. So it's more like $800 or $900 a month, 900 in Phnom Penh. Just because apartments cost more in the big city. So even though the salary might seem like that's like 3 times lower than a salary in the West, yeah, it's 2 or 3 times lower, but the cost of living is 10 times lower. It can work out that you have like more disposable money than you did when you had a higher salary in your home country. Now, if you do have a degree, this course with AVSC is also offered in Vietnam, and you could do it in Ho Chi Minh. And there, teachers are paid a lot more, actually. Probably more like $1,800 to $2,000 a month and higher. And so if you've got a degree, you could do all this exact same program, but go for it in Ho Chi Minh, and you'll be set up with a higher paying teaching job than in Cambodia. And again, all the links to everything is below. And just make sure you mention Tom Trips Out if you end up going for it. So yeah, if you need a change, if you need to escape your home country and get away from everything that's happening in the news and just start a new relaxed way of life with no pressure, consider Cambodia, and AVSC could be your ticket over here to start a new life. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments below if you have any questions. And until next time, remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.